Hey everyone. Gonna remove the echo. It's nice to have everybody here. So here we go. And we are ready for the show. So hey everyone, welcome to this shortwave show where we're going to tune the bands. A little difference is it is going to be on an SDR receiver. So I've got here a little Ephedry SDR, which is the little box right here next to me. And this thing is right now plugged in through USB here. I didn't want to plug it in to the network because I was wondering if I take too much data on the network with the router, the upstream video might not be good, so I plugged it USB. It's not the perfect setup, USB. We'll talk about that a little later, but anyways, it's a change today, so we're going to tune around a little bit like that, and you're going to see my face. A lot of you have been saying, well, you know, we should set up in a way that even when you tune, so I'm changing the way we're going to set up. Even when I tune with this receiver, we're going to try to be present there and not just show a radio. So, hey, everybody, and nice to have you on board. So this show is every 2 weeks on Fridays at 2000 hours Universal Time. So Universal Time didn't change, but it did change for some people. And it's going to be a fun little, radio show. Talk a bit about SDRs and stuff like that. I must have here somewhere close also my Soft 66 must be really, really close somewhere here. I'm going to just to compare that, if we can find it, in my gazillion things that are right here somewhere. So anyways, we'll try to find it if I have to. I want to talk about it a little bit. So anyways, welcome everyone, and nice to have everybody on board. So today we're tuning out a little bit the bands. Not, like I said, not perfect setup. The Ephedry on USB is not the best. Also, one thing that I did not think about is that the power supply for this laptop is hell of noise. So it's also going to impact what we're going to receive. So, no, I would, Jerry says not doing it on the big TV. That's what I wanted. That's what I would have loved doing. But if I did it on the big TV, that means I would have to stream in the network. And if I had to stream on the network, I was afraid that it would impact the output of my video. That's why because, the first thing I thought is, oh, cool, I'm going to have the SDR on a 50-inch TV, and everybody's going to find it really fun. Then I said, okay, but I'm going to stream a lot of data through the router if I do that. So that's why we're not on the TV, but I can tell you one thing. I am thinking about that. I'm going to get myself a big length of, another length of Ethernet cable. And next time we tune SDR, it's going to be on the big screen TV, I promise you. You're going to see it's going to be pretty cool. So we're gonna do that. Also, one thing that I haven't been able, I don't know why I can't, it works through my network very well. But when I plug it, it's supposed to work directly through the Ethernet jack from the Ephedry to the computer. For some reason, it doesn't want to. The SDR control panel tells me the SDR is there. I've got green lights, but HD SDR just doesn't do anything. So I have no idea why. And so I probably have a few questions for you guys that maybe are a little more into SDR, because there's a few things that I haven't been able to figure out. And I hope you guys are going to help me with that a little bit. So I've got a few questions for you guys. It's going to be a little different. Your knowledge is going to be very useful tonight. So hey everyone, F4GBE Adrien, Danny Shortwave and Radio DX, iMapper from Moscow, James Megawatt, Jerry, Carol T, nice to have you here, MDK2, Jerry, what do we have? We have Brett Wayne, we have Bobby Burgess, John Ritson, Richard Cook, Scotty Tier 6 in Toronto. We have lot of interesting people we've got on the other IRC chat. SG2 East Nebraska, nice to have you on board. PLF, hello there. And France says 10-second delay. Not bad, not bad. So it's nice to have everybody here. And here we had a hell of a snowstorm. I think last time we had such a big snowstorm goes back to 2012. We had 46 centimeters of snow, which is half a meter. That's not counting. If you count the snow that drifted off the roof and fell in the street, they say we got 2 foot of snow, about 60 centimeters of snow on the ground on the city. So there was a lot of problems. There were like cars everywhere off the road. There was a big pileup that happened actually on one of the highways. And now, of course, everybody's going crazy about the transport, the Ministry of Transports here in Quebec, because there's really some weird decisions that were taken there. And so we had high winds, really a lot of snow. It made me feel like, when I was like, 10 years old and I wanted to play in the snow. Well, that made me feel like that because, wow. And, of course, Montreal being Montreal, we're going to be, we're going to get rid of that snow in the next 2-3 days. But the first, here, it really has to be very bad for the schools to close. And I think it's for the first time in a long time, the schools actually closed on Wednesday. And I can't even remember the last time that happened. So it gives you an idea of how bad the storm was. So basically, it was bad. So here is DX the cat saying hello to everyone. So we just here put it down a little bit. Hey there, DX. Hey, how are you doing? Nice little cat saying hello. So nice to have everybody here, and of course we'll try to have fun today. So of course we're tuning the shortwave bands. My name is Gilles, by the way. We're located in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and we are of course doing a shortwave show today. And what I wanted to say is tomorrow is a shortwave show also. So tomorrow, 2000 hours UTC. We'll be here. We'll talk about, I'm not sure about the subject yet, but part of the show will be talk of the fact that next time that we are live, we will be in the summer schedule season already. I mean, we're already gone 6 months, man. It's just incredible. So, hey, everybody. Nice to have you on board. Nick Amendel from Romania says his Texan R9012 arrived, and it's an amazing little receiver. I tell you. It's an amazing receiver for the price. Really. So, hey there, PD0PMS from the Netherlands. Nice to have you here. Edward Martz, hello there. 6 inches of snow, but enough ice to raise hell earlier this week. Yeah, some of you had, it's like New York. New York, they were announcing more snow than when they had, and now they had like ice and rain and all sorts of really bad stuff. So basically, yeah. Well, the problem, Scotty Tier 6, is if I do that, I'm already demanding a lot on my computer, and I'm going to do some tests, and I will eventually run the SDR directly. But for now, I rather have it like this for simple reasons that I've not fully tested yet, and I don't want to have too many problems with my my stream because there's already a lot of stuff going on with my computer that's just streaming the video. So really nice. Kevin Couture, hello there. And merci beaucoup. So, aucun problème, ça fait plaisir. And yes, I know, Danny, Shortwave, there's a difference for the network, but the problem is that it's the router. The router's performance needs to be good. And I haven't tested, I got a new router, so that's the first thing here. You guys are going to see that there's probably much less buffering on the stream. A very interesting thing happened this week. By the way, so hey there, Bobby Beretta, Evan McRoberts, and we're gonna talk about my. I'm trying to make things work better, but we're gonna change. So basically, a hell of a snowstorm this week for us. Temperature right now is around -2, -3 Celsius. A lot of snow. A lot of snow. There were people stuck on the highway in their cars all night during the snowstorm. We don't see that very often here. And a lot of people are saying, look, we live in a place where this happens regularly. So that's pretty much weird that they can't cope with snow. So that's pretty much what we have, PLF. Hello there, Grandly. Happy St. Patrick's Day, yeah. Everybody, of course, St. Patrick's Day today. Okay, stories first, and we're going to go through a little bit of the stories here. So I've changed router this week. Okay, I've ordered a new router, an AC 1750, which is a gigabit router with dual band and everything. Because when I got the Fidry, that little box that's right here, I plugged it in the network, and it would stream for 2 seconds, and the router would just go berserk. Like way too much data. I don't know. And the other one I had was also a gigabit router, but I don't know. It just couldn't cope with doing too many things like that. So I had been thinking of changing that router for something much more modern, and I thought, well, this is the time. Okay, let's buy a new router and get something that performs well. And I gotta say, I am amazed at the new router that I've got. Cheers, by the way. And okay, this one kicks butt. I mean, I plugged the Fidry. I plugged it in the network. Works flawlessly. Works great. And what's nice, this week I had the chance of doing 4 live shows. And one of the things that I wanted to know in the first shows is the stream all right? Because we had a lot of buffering issues with the stream. And you know what? The first thing that everybody told me is that they've never seen a stream hold so well. So I guess that one of the major issues we had with the upstream was that my router had difficulty holding up with an HD stream. And so when I plugged this one, and everybody said, wow, the stream is really, really nice. I thought, okay, I think I should have bought this much earlier because I didn't think that the other router I had was so bad with upstream, and actually the other router I had has problems when you start sending it too much data at the same time. So basically, it's really amazing because I got to say that everybody said, even if there are some little glitches here and there, I've also seen something. When I put the stream online, it's faster. Usually it took a certain time for me to see the green bar and to see my face in my own little window there on because I always check out if the stream shows everything all right. It took usually 15-20 seconds. With this new router, I noticed that the stream is like only a few seconds, maybe 10 seconds. It's half the time. It appears faster. It works faster. So, lesson learned, a very good router is a really important thing to have. And that's one thing I want to do, Carol. Try next time, or actually I'll maybe do just a special, let's just stream for the fun of it and see if it holds on with being, on the SDR on the network and my HD stream going out. So, so basically it's the one I have is it's all based on the same Archer C7 architecture. The one that I have is a TP-Link, but it's the same model as it also is an Asus that makes it. They're the same router. It's all the same hardware inside. It's just a name that changes on the box. And it's the AC1750 router. Paid $100 with shipping everything about $110 Canadian, and works really well. I'm extremely happy. Plus, I got the advantage of having USB ports on it, so I can plug an external hard drive and have my movies and TV shows that I have stored on that streaming to my TV. And also I could plug my HP printer, which now is a network printer, which is cool because it was a good old USB printer. And I'm the kind of guy that, for printers and stuff like that, as long as it works, I don't see why I should change it. So now it's a network printer, which is as a positive side. I can print from everywhere. Also, I've been really enjoying one thing of this Fedri SDR. It's that the network side is really cool because, I just take any computer I got, install HD SDR and everything, and I can be in the kitchen on the Wi-Fi. And even though on Wi-Fi I have to put it the bandwidth a little smaller because it's not the same thing as true Ethernet. It actually works really well, and I can listen to shortwave radio, and basically, I was in the kitchen the other day doing cooking some food, and I had one of my laptops there. I was listening to Voice of America and then Radio Romania through the network. It was really, really fun, and I got to say, I really enjoyed this. And so this is, by the way, for those wondering, a gift, a nice gift from a viewer, and I want to thank because it's really. Really, really cool to have these little gifts from time to time. And it's from a guy named Greg in the United States, actually in the state of Maine. So really nice, having a lot of fun, and really pretty cool to do that. So basically, really a lot of fun. And don't worry, Scotty Tier 6, I disabled everything that is unnecessary in routers to make sure that it works perfectly. So, is that the classic clock above the numerical clock? The classic clock. Oh, this one. Okay, no, it's actually not it's not working at all. It's not, the radio's not plugged in. I would have to plug it in for it to work, the clock radio there. PLF, but it's that would have been an interesting idea to plug it in and have it working. So right now I was tuning around the bands. By the way, there's some music. I was listening to Voice of America on 15580. Not the super strong signal, but just enough to give a nice reception. Also here, just on the left side, I see that there's WJHR in Milton, Florida. It's a little off. So this is WJHR Milton, Florida on 15555 upper sideband. I have to calibrate the radio. It's a little off. So I've got a few questions for you guys. One of the first that I've been going crazy with, and we're going to check it out. Jerry. So, really cool. And also, of course, a full review coming up by the way of this little box there, because I'm going to have fun. Okay. I'm going to say hello to RDB. Hello there. Danny from Ohio. Nice to have you here. Brian, Iowa. Pretty cool. Says, can't believe how good the video looks now. Matthew Kelleher. Nice to have you here. So, yeah, but Matt, I know that it's a little off. You know, if I compare it, let's just check it out with my ICOM. My ICOM gets it at 15554.9, and I know I can trust the ICOM here. So it's a little off. I need to go into options and calibrate it. But I'll have questions concerning that during the show, because there's something weird here that I'm a little trying to understand. There's some music from Voice of America on 15580. Hello there, Nick Casarino from Francesco, and also with Francesco Latono in California. Nice to have you on board. Pretty cool. And so pretty cool. We're having fun, and we're checking that out. Catherine Ron, hello there. 95 degrees hot in New Mexico. It's about 95 is too hot for me. You know, I like in the 80s, something like that. 70s and 80s, that's my temperature. 95, a little too much. So yes, that's one thing I want to talk. I want to talk a little bit, because Danny Shortwave and Radio DX says one of the things about network SDRs, it's not for the newbie, because it is, you know, you gotta understand things to set this up. You know, first of all, this is SDR. Carol says it's not music, it's rap. Well, yeah, I will tend to agree with that, but one of the things that that you got to understand is that when this SDR comes pre-programmed with an IP that is 192.168.0.8. And the first thing that you got to understand is, if you want to put it on your own network, if your router is not at 192.168.0.1 in its gateway, you're already got a problem, because the IPs won't match and it won't work. And of course, you got to understand these things. And I've got to say, one of the things that probably is the biggest problem of this SDR, the lack of real good instructions on how to set it up. So of course, that gives me the idea that I'll be, when I'm fully, understand it, do a ton of videos to help explain how to set this up. But it's probably going to help other with other SDRs that are networked to also understand it. So it's pretty cool. So of course, you got to understand that you've got a software, which is this little software here, which is the SDR network control box that programs this thing. And this SDR network control box, well, you got to go into the different settings in here and start playing with the settings in order to set it up correctly. So of course, you got to understand, you need to plug it in USB, and you got to understand that through the USB, you're going to reprogram the network IP address in it. So I've actually reprogrammed it to be 192.168. first with the Linksys, because it was a .1.1, I reprogrammed it at 192.168.1.125. And that made me, get it in that range. Now, of course, I reprogrammed it for the new router, which is on 192.168.0.8, .1, So you got to understand these things in order to have this working. And it's not for the faint of heart, because you got to know a little bit of how an SDR works, but you got to know a little bit of how a computer works and how a network works in order to have it working. But I've got to say one thing. It was extremely cool to have my waterfall on my 50-inch TV in the living room and listening to Radio Romania and different signals like I posted on the radio channel. It was really, really nice. So, it slowly but surely. I'll have a few questions, and we're going to go through them like now. I think is the best time. Matt Kelleher says, I got an SDR play. It is a learning curve for a newbie. A lot of these instructions are written for people of a certain assumed experience level. Yeah, like the instructions for the SDR, the ephedry SDR, they tell you the big idea behind it, but they're not necessarily meant for exact model you got. They're really general. And of course, what helped me understand how to plug it in is my tech guy experience and understanding networks to a certain point. So you gotta play with that. And even with the USB, one of the things that surprised me is the Soft 66 that I got. You just plug it in the USB port and install that special driver. And you're pretty much good to go. There's not a lot of things to set up after that, except the offset. This one on USB was a little more complex. I had some issues, and some that I don't fully understand yet also. So we're going to check that out. Richard, have you picked up North Korea yet? I have 11680 and 6400 often. I haven't heard North Korea in a long time here in Montreal, I got to say. And, I'm surprised because it was such a regular at some point that I am a little surprised that it's not, that I'm not receiving it. So I wonder if they're doing really all of their transmissions, or they have reduced the power output maybe of some of them. I forgot to say hello, I believe, to William Helms also, that I saw in the chat a little earlier. So first question that somebody can maybe help me with, that I am trying to figure out. Why, when I plug the SDR, not always, sometimes, there's an offset in the voice tone. So for example, when I plugged it in on the USB port, and it happens also on the network, by the way, I got a voice that sounds like Mickey Mouse when they're talking. So it's as if the sound was, upscaled in its frequency. So I get, for example, I was listening to CG80 local station here in medium wave, and at first it sounded like Mickey Mouse. So I unplugged it. And I plugged it back, and it came back to normal. But it's sometimes a little off, and I'm trying to understand why is the voice not perfect. That's what I thought, Carol, is the bit rate, if the bit rate didn't match or something. But I'm careful at matching the bit rate and everything. It does it in AM mode, yeah, because if I'd be in USB, I understand that I'm probably not tuned right in the USB mode, but in AM mode, really in AM mode, sometimes I get a Mickey Mouse. But if I unplug, plug it back, restart HDSDR, often it comes back to normal, and it's driving me crazy because I can't figure out why the hell and where it's happening. And I have the impression it's between the driver of the audio, because there's a special audio driver for this, and HDSDR. You know what? I've only used HDSDR for now with this. So somebody told me to use SDR console version 3 would be better. I've seen the instructions on how to set it up with SDR Sharp. So maybe I should try with another software. That I agree, but it's really weird, and so I can't tell you if it's doing it with the other SDR programs. I don't have that answer. And it's really weird. And to give you an idea, you guys, it doesn't do that only on USB. It also does it when I'm through the network. So I don't know. And I've never, I've never on the Soft 66, for example, I've never had a problem like that. Never. But Soft 66 doesn't work in the same way. It doesn't have a special audio driver in it. So it's probably due to that, the special audio driver. I did follow the instructions saying that you've got to, go in the audio driver and, click the, put everything to default. And sometimes it seems to fix it, especially on the network. But man, I don't know. It's kind of weird, and I'm actually puzzled by that. And right now it sounds okay, but earlier when I plugged it, it's gonna be it's gonna be something. Yeah, we're gonna troubleshoot this live. So it may be a driver issue, but then again, we all got the same driver in this thing. I haven't found a lot of people that have that type of problems. It's weird. So I'm trying to figure out, because I played with sample rates. Now, of course, every time you change the sample rate here, it changes the driver a little bit. So every time you plug it back, it wants to reinstall the driver on the USB part. So I don't know. And one thing also, by the way, and maybe this is another clue, when it's off and it sounds like Mickey Mouse, the display frequency is also off. So if I'm listening to Voice of America on 15580 and it would sound like Mickey Mouse, I would be at 15584, for example. I'd be 4 kilohertz up in the frequency displayed on HDSDR. So yeah, usually what I do, I unplug. Okay, I shut down HDSDR. I unplug the cable. Or if I'm in the network, what I'll do, stop HDSDR. I'll unplug the SDR itself from the power source, plug it back in, wait for it to join the network, restart. Very often it's okay. So it's as if it doesn't always do it. And to give you an idea, because it's in that Mickey Mouse mode, it actually drops every 2 or 3 seconds. The audio drops for a second, comes back, as if it's going too fast for what, because it's like faster. It's not just Mickey Mouse voice. It's you hear that when they're talking faster also. It's like if I put a 33 1/3 record in 45 RPM. Everything is fast. It sounds like Mickey Mouse, but the voice is faster. They talk faster. So it's like everything is going faster. And it has to stop because, of course, the audio in itself is not going fast enough to follow that. Very weird. No frequency offset on this one. So I'm really wondering. So it's really weird. It's like everything is up. The frequency display is off. And you know, it's not just because, of course, the tech guy was thinking, okay, I'm in Windows 10 here. Maybe it's not made to work well in Windows 10 yet. Of course, I've used it in a Windows 7 machine to see, and the Windows 7 machine does the same exact thing. And whatever machine that I've got. So for example, this one is a Core i3 with USB 2 ports, and it's just it has a gigabit Ethernet. I tried it on the one that I'm streaming right now, which is a Core i5 machine, which is the most powerful one that I've got. I've tried it on my good old Toshiba that's right here in the back. That one runs Windows 7 on it. And it happens on all the machines. It does not seem to be because of the machine that I'm using is more or less powerful, because the one back there is a Core 2 Duo, which is a very old, it's almost 10 years old. And okay, the CPU goes high, but it still works. So my laptop is not set. All the laptops I use I disabled the throttling of the CPU to make sure that you know, it always gives me the maximum performance, except for when I'm on battery. And since I'm always pretty much plugged in, it doesn't seem, and you know, it uses very low CPU. I mean, on my Core i5, it's, you know, it's never using more than, like, you know, 18 or 20% CPU when I'm doing something. So the computer's not overwhelmed at what's happening. And you know, and I know well my Core i5 machine, and it works really well. I've checked everything. I've checked, you know, setting up everything, and I matched everything right. It's very bizarre. Hey there, Kimberly, K6YYL from California. Nice to have you on board. And I don't know if we have a nice, yeah, it doesn't show that much, but I'm going to give you guys a little look at what 2 feet of snow looks like. And I know Kimberly likes to see what's happening in the weather here. So look at this, you guys. I'm just going to take the camera here a second. This is what we are stuck with right now. Let me just put the camera in automatic mode, because I know that now you guys aren't seeing anything. So here goes. Automatic. Here we go. So now you guys are going to see. So look at that. Look at that car right there, which is right under the snow. It's like really amazing. And you see the snowbanks here. So this is our winter moment right now, with about 2 feet of snow that fell in the last. So hope you enjoyed that, Kimberly. I know that you like seeing a little bit more of the weather here, and you guys in California don't have that. So pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So that's what it looks like here, and it's pretty. And it was even, you know, if you guys would have seen this the day that it was happening, it was amazing. Somebody actually posted a time-lapse video. He has a Nest cam outside, and he posted a time-lapse video, 24 hours and 2 minutes. And it goes from he had no snow at all to his car in the driveway is totally covered in snow. And it's just nice. iMapper says, looks like Moscow in February. Yeah, well, usually that would be, okay, this one is a big one, but the snow we have on the ground, if you look at the snow on the ground here, that is typical of what we should have on the ground early March. I mean, with all the snow that accumulated through winter, we should have that in early March. But when that snow hit, we almost had no more snow on the ground. We had a very, very weird winter here. So, okay, that's pretty amazing. And, oh yeah, I did see that, Scotty Tier 6, the video of the Amtrak train blasting through the station, and that was kind of nice. Brett Wayne says it's melting fast at 42 Fahrenheit there. And it's supposed to go up to like +5 around, around 40 this week. So, but I did see the video. It did look interesting. I don't know if it's a stage event or not, but very nice. Okay, so interesting little problem that I got here. I'm gonna continue fiddling around, and I'll of course that'll be my learning curve will be the future videos, of course, because if I'm there, some people will have the same problems, and also I will probably post like a video instruction manual on how to set it up and have it working right. By the way, so that's one question I got. What was my other questions? They're gonna come as I'm remembering them. So we're tuning a little bit around. So there's some music on Voice of America 15580. What do we have? We have Radio Exterior de España 15500. So this is we'll try 9690. Usually it's better. Yeah, 9690. 9690. Radio Exterior de España. But 15500 also coming in. It's a little weaker, but it's coming in. So Radio Exterior de España on the Fedri SDR receiver. Not bad, not bad. Working pretty well. So pretty cool. And hey, Luis Arevalo, nice to have you on board. Oh, 15390 also, Carol. Yeah, you're right. Let's check it out. 15390 here. 15390. Yep. 15390. So Radio Exterior de España. There's also something on 15360, which I believe is a noise. What about, is there anything else? Let's check it out. A lot of reports, by the way, of people hearing LRA 36 from Argentina on 15476. Kimberly says that's an amazing amount of snow. It's so hot here. We might get some rain next Tuesday or Wednesday, but I don't hold my breath. Nearly 81 degrees right now. Wow. I was reading an article about you guys had a lot of storms with rain recently, and but they were saying that it's not enough to fix the drought that you people had in California for a while, and that there will need to be even more rain than that to really to um, to get the water back to what it was many years ago, apparently. Um, yeah, RWM would be nice. I don't know. We'll try it here, 996, but propagation didn't seem to be there for that today. I've not had anything. Oh, maybe. I don't know. It might be a tone right now. If it is, it's a tone. I would need to confirm that with the... I'm just going to check out something here. But I think it might be there. Let's try 996. Too much noise there, but 14996 RWM. It's a little off, but I'm gonna keep it there for a second. But I wouldn't be surprised that this could be the RWM from Moscow time signal. I'm gonna keep it there a little bit. We're gonna keep it there a little bit. So it might be that. Scotty says no shortage of bottled water in California. Yeah. Any news on Radio Australia? You know what? I think it's a lost battle, but there's still some congressmen still trying to get Radio Australia back and everything, but it really seems like Radio Australia, the ABC, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, is a little bit in the same mode than the CBC here, Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. They just want to make sure that Radio Australia is dead. And they're not helping out at all. So, really sad. It'd be cool to have Radio Australia come back. Matt Kelleher says Radio Stereo España is best at 15390 when it signs on. 15500 by about this time. And 9690, the last hour it's on. Interesting to see how the propagation works. 9690 is a North American beam. Yeah, it is interesting to see that and see how, signals from especially when there's a same station with multiple frequency outlets, and seeing how propagation changes through the day with different frequencies. It is kind of cool. Carol says WWVH 15 megahertz, pretty good. Nice. Okay, well, it's not what I'm hearing then. Thanks for letting me know, Richard. It's probably internal noise here. So, you know what? One of the things that I was really a big downer was, Radio Australia when I was young and up to the 90s. They were their own service. They had their own international audience. They had their own programs. And I got to say that Radio Australia went downhill when they started just, streaming the Australian Broadcasting Corporation. And they just, didn't have specific programming anymore. But still, it's nice to have Australia. But, man. Scotty says, doesn't hear the woman from Hawaii, just the man from Fort Collins. Yeah, that's pretty much what I hear here. If we put it on 15 megahertz. Yep. the pips, time pips. So it's not here. You know, usually at this time, I think at this time we should be hearing. If I would hear Hawaii, I should be hearing the weather bulletin or something like that from there. Well, Matt, you know what? Great question. I've been trying 3330 for the past few days and try it out now again. And it's not there. And there's nothing on my display of the SDR. And you know what? This, even in the middle of the daytime, comes in with ground wave to me. So this means that it's off. It's not online. It's the 3330. Anyone can hear 3330 right now? Those are maybe closer. Because I gotta say, 3330 is not there. And I've tried 7850, but that one's harder for me. 7850 doesn't show anything here also. I don't know. Let's check the 20-meter ham band and see what we can get. So there's what is there here? Anything we're gonna listen to that's interesting? There's something around 14.1. 14.177. Had a few strong signals a little earlier on the 20-meter band. Seems to be a rather quiet band right now. I gotta say, what's cool with the SDR is the fact that you can see a large spectrum of frequency and immediately know when there's some activity just by looking at the display, and that's a really big positive point. So Edward March says 7850 is strong and during the day in New Jersey. Carol doesn't hear 7850. So, Edward says 3330 is not transmitting. So I'm yeah, I think it's off. It's off right now. They were off a few months ago. They came back and now they're off again. I don't know if they're having difficulty with a transmitter or something. Hey there, David Snyder. Nice to have you on board. And pretty cool. Says its ICOM R75 is online via Global Tuners. Oh, that's cool. One of the things that I want to, yeah, there's something on 14.176. Hello there, Vanuit there, Otto. Nice to have you on board. Oh, there's something that just popped up a little higher. Just a little higher. But, So, good evening. Good afternoon here, because here it's afternoon, late afternoon. And now with the time change, the sun sets around 6:30 p.m. Even later. So we're getting there. We're getting to a point where it's. Richard says 14670 active as well. Cool. And Vanuit de Otto said LZ3 ELM. So cool. Hello there, 1990 Sunbird. Brett Wayne says 7850, nothing in Western New York. Carol is on a 40-meter net, 7268.5. So that's cool. PLF Shell, are you too close to CHU transmitter? That's why you can't hear it. On 3330, it's 24 hours for me. Because I'm about 100 kilometers, a little more than 100 kilometers away. And so I received a ground wave. So in mid-afternoon, I usually get 3330. And at night, I really get a really good signal of 3330. So it really is off because I always hear 3330 all the time. SWL guest. The software that's here on the laptop right now is HDSDR, and in tandem with SDR network control box for controlling the Fedry SDR receiver that's right here in the corner. So this is right now what's controlling my SDR. So I like HDSDR's layout, but I'll be trying other software. You know, maybe there's a glitch with HDSDR. I'll try SDR console and everything. So, oh really, Richard? PPE has been on 10.0.10. Interesting. As for 14.670, forget it. I never received that. Very rarely. It's very weak when it's there. Yeah, that's what I'm going to try, Matt. Somebody else told me try SDR console, and that's what I plan to probably after the show tonight. I'm gonna be playing around with that, and I'm gonna install SDR console and check it out. Hey there, Joe Palu, KD3LUE. Nice to have you on board, as usual. What is the receiver I'm using? Vanuatu Auto. This is a Fedry, AFEDRI SDR receiver, a 100 kilohertz, 30 megahertz receiver, donated by a Mr. Greg in the state of Maine. And of course, I'm playing a lot with it now. We'll do a review and of course lots of videos on this in the coming weeks. Joe Pellis says I was at WA8 VA station running their FTDX 5000. Oh, by the way, Scotty Tier 6, any news of your ICOM ICR 8500? Any news of when it can arrive, by curiosity? So, no problem, Vanuatu Auto. Any questions? Just ask. JWL9286 says, don't know much about what's going on, but it's really cool we can do this. It is, totally. And it's really fun. And for those that don't know, I'm located in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. That is under 2 feet of snow. 8,600. Did I say the 500? Yeah, 8,600. Can't wait to see the videos, Scotty Tier 6. Matt says, my experience with CHU mirrors is on WWV. You can get 2.5 at night and 5 during the day regularly. With the higher frequencies, the less likely I can get it. So, and he's 120 kilometers, 75 miles from transmitter to QTH. So yeah, that's it. You know, we're really close. We're being so close. The high frequencies. No, 14670. Sometimes a small little something. You know, if I look at 14670 right now, absolutely nothing in here. And I sometimes have a very weak signal, but very it's very rare. I don't get that very often. Scotty says Radio World says R8600 should be here by the end of the month. I will harass them at the Brampton Hamfest tomorrow morning. Okay, that's cool. That's pretty cool. And it's going to be fun to see those videos. I will be a little jealous of you, Scotty Tier 6, I got to say. But can't be jealous, you know. I mean, probably tons of people are jealous just watching on my ICOM ICR 8500, so, you know. There's always something. Marker station on 16808. Yeah, there's let's check it out. 16808. I get here. I don't get nothing here. But 16608, probably a WLO or something like that. Let's check the bands a little bit. I'm gonna go to let's tune around 14 megahertz and down slowly and check out what we can hear on these frequencies. Anything popping up that's unusual. So we've got these really weird noises that's coming out, but it might be the computer power supply here. Cuban 13740 with music. Well, actually, it's Radio Havana Cuba's intro, as it's 5 p.m. 13740. We got Radio Havana Cuba. What else do we have here? I don't know if my noise level's too high or something, but trying to get stations here. What do we have? What do we have here? Checking out. Oh, this one's cool. The chirpings. Did I see chirpings? There's the Kodar. Kodar is cool to see on the SDRs. There we go. You can hear the chirping of the Kodar here on 13. You can see all the Kodar, and it's really cool because when it's strong, you can actually see the wave of the Kodar on the waterfall at the bottom. It's really, really nice. Really, really nice. Lots of Cuban lady on 11635. Let's try it out. Yep, she's there. I can hear her. So the Cuban lady, 11635. Let's see if we can hear some of the numbers. We can see here the digital transmission, what it looks like. Yep. You can hear the numbers and hear the tones that are making this. So the Cuban Spanish lady on 11635 right now. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Here, Rick Roberts says can hear 14670 on the web SDR. Okay. Vanilla de Otto says, I'm using SDR Play together with SDR Uno software. It gives me the possibility to listen to multiple frequencies at the same time with a certain range. Receiver does 0 kilohertz to 2 gigahertz. Here what's nice, if I can manage, oh, that's the second thing that I don't know why. And I'm going to ask you guys. Okay. I have no idea why. When I plug it on my own network, of course, I can get the SDR on any computer on my own network, no problem. But, of course, through Wi-Fi, I can't have the full spectrum display because the ephedry can go up to 2 megahertz wide display thanks to fast Ethernet. But that I've not been able to really reach on the network. Here's the question. And actually I see it working. So when I plug direct, okay, ephedry from the Ethernet jack direct to the Ethernet jack of my computer. The IP address is there. I can see that it's okay. The network card recognizes it. SDR console, I put it in network mode and gives me the green lights. But nothing appears on HDSDR. Anybody has an idea? Yeah, that would be fun. If I knew the other, make a video for sure. Hey there, David in Barcelona. Nice to have you on board. Pretty cool. Nice to have you on board. So even Barcelona. So yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Everybody's it's a few of you are saying that, David, because I just didn't want to take a chance because I'm unsure if um, if I stream a lot of data on the home network inside here, if it can affect my HD stream. That's why I didn't do it because, of course, the first thing I thought was, hey, that's gonna be cool, doing it on the 50-inch TV living room instead. That'd be nice. So yeah, that is true. I gotta say something. RDB says, what does this have to say about the state of the world when this chat is far more interesting than my favorite TV news channel, which I have on mute? That is the comments I get regularly of people saying, hey, you know what? I rather watch your shows than watch TV. And it's just funny because a lot of people, go. I was talking a little earlier in one of my shows, and one of the shows that I have is a computer show, and I was talking about the fact that, of course, I'll probably take a month off in July of no shows, and everybody went crazy. Everybody went crazy, and they're like, "Oh man, please, I don't want to have 1 month without Jill." It's like, okay, that's kind of nice. So kind of cool. David, yeah, the ephedry is a very cool SDR, I gotta say, and the remote operations on the network is very nice, a very nice feature. So, oh yeah, that I know. Wi-Fi will not give me the same performance as Ethernet. Somewhere 95, nice sound. What's the mic? It's a Movo. It's wireless microphone, Movo wireless microphone, and I've been very happy with this. With the battery, it gives me about close to 4 hours of wireless microphone, and since it's triple A's, you can pop in alkalines if your rechargeable batteries go out. Been really enjoying that microphone. It's a very nice mic, really really cool. So I love it. Benedict Tool says, didn't see or try that setup before. Going to see if I can give it a try. Working in a remote desktop, the PC. Wireless over 5 gigahertz. So Carol says, we always go crazy in July. Well, Carlos Jimenez, try 11635. There's the Cuban number station right now. 11635. And Richard is... Cookrick 555 in the chat has been tuning around different ones, so check it out. He's giving you suggestions here, and Bed Wayne says this is way better than TV. July Madness. But it's mostly what what I'm having is when I plug directly. I don't know why. It doesn't want to work. Fukushima is the biggest story in the world right now. It's the only thing happening right now that really matters. Yeah, I guess so. There's a very interesting article in the NHK. There's an NHK documentary on YouTube about Fukushima that is extremely interesting. If you guys ever want to see that later on, not while we're watching this show, but later on, they really have a very nice documentary. Oh man, beer is spilling everywhere. Oh man, precious beer. think I squeezed it a little too fast. Look at all that. Man, this is... losing precious beer. Sorry guys, just gonna take a second here because I'm gonna just clean up the mess that I've done before somebody else finds out and kills me. Because yes, somebody can kill me if I leave it like that. Oh man. So here we go. I got like half of it on my jeans also, so anyways, that doesn't matter. It's just the floor. The floor does matter. So sorry guys. Here we go. That's the live shows. That's the live shows for you. Oh man. Okay. It's nice to see everyone here, by the way. Nice, steady. So, hello there, Philip Briggs from Brazil. Nice to have you here. And pretty cool. Nah, the cat just looks at the beer and says, nah, that's not for me. He'd rather have his little treats. Captain Ron says, it's funny, here you are getting all digital, and I just ordered an 1103 and a DSP speaker. And in fact, the 1103 should be arriving any minute. Save some spillage for DX. Everybody wants me to give DX some beer. Yeah, if I had a dog, he'd probably, yeah, that would be a possibility. Dogs like almost everything that humans drink or eat anyways. So, yeah, 11610, Danny Shortwave. Let's try it out. I see it here on the SDR. 11610, which is basically KNLS via the Madagascar World Voice on 11610. So it's not super strong here. It's stronger than that usually, but it's there. Well, Cuban numbers are coming in stronger. What do we have here? 11580 is, I believe, Radio Slovakia. Just getting calibrated. Okay, one thing also I want to know. I've noticed that when I'm going through the frequency range from 100 kilohertz to 30 megahertz, I gotta readjust the calibration. For example, around 15 megahertz I was okay, but at 11580 it was a little off, and I had to readjust it to really get it back to 11580. I don't know, is it normal? Is that normal? I don't know. It's too early for me, Richard. We got at least an hour and a half of sun left. So 11580 is Radio Slovakia on WRMI. So 11580 kilohertz, pretty cool. Really love the fact that WRMI are actually relaying many shortwave broadcasts. So pretty amazing. So pretty cool. Oh yeah, they were showing. They're very advanced. They were showing, like Scotty says, they were showing at Fukushima how they are using, robots of all sorts to go in places where no human can go at all, because radiation is way too high in there. Nick Spencer, hello there. Do you have any suggestions for someone new to shortwave listening? information, resources, particular radios that are good for beginners. There are a few places that are interesting on the web. swling.com is a great place. swling.com, shortwavelistening.com is a great place. For schedules, you can go to eibi space.de. He actually updated the schedules on 15 March. Full schedules and universal time of stations around the world to all target areas. Every language is in there. Of course, there's videos on my channel, but there's a lot of videos on YouTube in general for newbies. There's a lot of newbie stuff on my channel. If you go through the videos, you'll see that there's a lot of things that's interesting. You'll have reviews of receivers. As for receivers, you know what? Almost any Texan receiver, TECSUN, Chinese manufacturer, are pretty good. Texan PL 600, 680, 660, 880, PL 380. They're all great receivers. So, ask your questions. We're here for that, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you might have, Nick. Don't hesitate. Nick Spencer says, Cuban ladies coming in strong in North Carolina. Not bad, not bad. So, there's one thing about Fukushima, and I'm just going to end it with that there. What's the idea of building nuclear reactors in an area where really, really huge earthquakes and tsunamis are not something that happens like once every 300 years, but pretty regular? I mean, come on. Come on. So they're talking about St. Patrick's Day on Radio Slovakia on 11580 right now. And now there's some music for Irish people on this St. Patrick's Day. Pretty cool. Hey there, Mad Radio DXer. Nice to have you on board. Hello, hello. Hello there, Mark Brando. Nice to have you on board as usual. Roger Appleby. Hello there, M1CBO. Nice to have you on board on your second visit. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And what else do we have here? Just sorry, guys. I'm going through the chat because I'm trying not to miss too much here. Nick Spencer says, thanks so much. It was very helpful. I'll be watching a lot of your videos, and it seems I'll check out Texan stuff. Yeah, great receivers from Texan. You got a great portable radio with that. Matt Anderson, do you listen to shortwave on any tube radios? Not right now, but I really would like to. There's this guy here at a flea market that has tons of very nice shortwave tube receivers. Man, I'd like that. I'd like to have a few here. I think it would be nice to have a few here to complete the setup, for sure. Jwahar Bami, hello there. Heard you mention that direct connection doesn't work. If you're talking about a Fedri, you'll probably need a cross. No, it doesn't. That's the thing. Jwahar. It works without a crossover cable. Because I know that I'm a tech guy. But everything's there. It gives me the information. The IP address is there. The SDR is blank. It moves and it's blank. It doesn't, as if, the SDR network control box has a green light saying, I'm connected. I'm connected to the SDR. But HDSDR doesn't. So I don't know if it's an HDSDR thing. Maybe I should, maybe that's the thing. I'm trying too hard on HD SDR, and maybe I should try it on SDR console. And I think tonight that's what I'm going to try. I'll go on SDR console. So, Bobby Burgess, yeah, the Texan PL380 is great. Having fun, Bobby, with your PL380? Have you done any interesting shortwave radio catches, by the way, Bobby? Yeah, I understand that, Scotty. It's earthquake proof, but not tsunami proof. But I think you get my drift. Derek Huston from England. Hello there. Nice to have you on board, Derek. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Fun to have people from around the world here. So really, really nice. What else do we have here? Matt Anderson says, was listening to Cuba on a 1937 Stromberg Carlson tube radio yesterday. Oh, wow. I would have loved to see that. I would have loved to see that. Can tell you that. Hey there, Ralph. Nice to have you on board. I'm here too. I thought Texan, Eaton, Grundig were the same company. Actually, no. The thing is, okay, Grundig got sold to Eaton. Texan is not Eaton. Eaton is a separate company. But a lot of the receivers that Eaton/Grundig brand have are in fact Texan receivers rebranded under another name. And that went through a long time. The realistic receivers, a lot of realistic receivers, Radio Shack receivers were different receivers. I've got a Radio Shack DX398 here. That was a Sengean ATS 909. It's just that Radio Shack rebranded with their own name. So it's not the same company. So it means Eaton can have receivers made by somebody else. But a lot of the receivers from Eaton/Grundig, because they're using the Grundig brand also, are made by Texan. That's why you might think they're the same company, but they're not. So, okay, so you guys telling me use SDR console. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna install SDR console, and after the show tonight, I'm gonna actually I'm gonna play with the SDR console. So, and Man Radio DX says SDR console is the best program for him to spot weak signals. And maybe a lot of the things that I'm going crazy with HD SDR will go away with the SDR console. That's possible. Scotty's Tier 6 says, despite my Collins R390, 390A, 391, his Racal RA17 is his favorite tube radio for cruising the bands. That's cool. That's cool. Even Rick Roberts says there's a lot of noise from 6535 to 6550. And what else do we have here? Nicholas Heyer, hello there, Nick N9SJA, streaming your channel at my club, W9YB, Purdue University Amateur Radio Club, Boiler Up. Hey, that's cool. That's really cool. So here we are in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Today we're tuning the bands. We're, half tuning the bands. I'm talking a lot, but we're having a lot of fun. And we're using the Afedri SDR. This is right now 11580 WRMI streaming Radio Slovakia right now. So a little weaker than usual signal, but it's there. It's 11580 from The Okeechobee transmitter site is usually good, but not always here. Depends. I wonder what's the transmission angle, or the azimuth. Danny Shortwave says is looking to fully restore Zenith Oceanic G500 from a local guy. We will meet up next week. Hopefully, he'll bring it home soon. Oh man, I have to go. You know what? I really need to go to that flea market and ask the guy permission to make a video of the radios there. I think you guys are gonna go crazy with all the things there. I can tell you that. Bobby says, my Radio Shack here in Morgan City, Louisiana is shutting down soon. Yeah, that's sad. I miss Radio Shack. The real Radio Shack like before. So, yes, you can do remote on SDR console version 3 apparently, yes. F4GBE, Adrien says, Jill, when using portable radios like the Texan PL680, do you use the wire antenna or the built-in antenna? It depends where I am. If I'm at home, I will tend to either use just the telescopic antenna in a specific area of my home where I know there's less noise, because let's face it, the biggest problem of any shortwave listener is noise. But if I am outside, if I go in a park or if I go to my DXpeditions, I will set up a 20-30 feet wire on that receiver to get even more signals. But in here in the home, usually most of the time is on the telescopic, and sometimes I don't know, where is it? Is it here? Just checking if these are the Grundigs, and I've got the DGen DE here. But yeah, I'll usually just use a telescopic antenna with it. So pretty much, because in my home I have a lot of noise here, and that's the biggest problem. Having a lot of noise, if I put a wire antenna, it just increases the noise. And my sloper antenna in the backyard tends to overload almost every radio portable receiver I got, especially since we've got that new 940 kilohertz AM station that's busting 50 kilowatts of power. It's interfering with everything I got here. So I can't, unless I got a really good radio, I can't really put it on my sloper antenna. It just overloads. Mario DXer says, thanks. Which I just messed it up. Okay, Bell's thing about SDR console as well, easy remotely using your SDR. Cool. I'm gonna play with that tonight. Cut it to your 6. Oh, really? Tom Hamrad did a show on how Radio Shack is closing. No more battery a month club. Yeah, I remember. I had that card, battery a month club, and I always took the 9-volt battery because that was the most expensive battery, and the one that back then I used quite regularly. So I would always take the 9-volt battery. But I got to say, these batteries were crappy. These batteries were really crappy. But, it was a way to get you in the store. It's very intelligent because it's a very good marketing thing. Because it got you in the store. They knew if you wanted to have a free battery, you were a little more inclined than the other people in tech. And when I was young, going to a Radio Shack was like going to a huge event where there's tons of things that you're looking at, and they just look so cool. And of course, that I didn't have any money to buy. Brett Wayne says 11580, 10/9 in Western New York. Cool. MDK2. Oh, thanks, MDK2. 11580 has an azimuth of 44 degrees. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So, pretty cool. So, what else where we are? Hey, no problem, Matt Radio DXer. Says, thanks for doing a video about my channel. Plus 50 subscribers since then and more coming. Cool. You know, that's what I want to do. You know, talk about other channels that are worth mentioning. And show everybody, you know what? Because one of the biggest problems, and there are a few people that says, oh, you know, I think I'm fair in what I do, and I've had a few people tell me or send me private messages saying, oh yeah, but you know, now you're a big, you know, big famous guy on YouTube and whatever, which is not really the case, because a really big famous guy on YouTube has more than 66 people watching the live stream. Still, it's 66. You know, I've reached hundreds sometimes. So the thing is, I thought, why not give back to the people that really, really need, I think, first of all, help. And, you know, let's build up those subscribers. And you know what? What's cool is if I can use my my channel to promote radio channels of other users, why not? I mean, as a radio guy, one of the first things I do on YouTube most of the time is check out radio stuff. So by using, you know, you guys coming here, obviously most of you like radio. Well, why not talk about other radio channels? And it doesn't hurt my channel. I think on the contrary, it's cool, because most people will remember, hey, that guy is cool enough to talk about other radio channels. It's not a competition. You know, there are a few guys that have radio channels that I am the impression it's like the World Olympics. Hey, the first one that's going to kick butt of the other guy. I'm not in that mode at all. At all. I'm in the mode, the more we know radio channels, the more we'll learn, the more we'll have fun. And I think that's just cool. You know? And it's a way of getting back, you know, at some people that were mean to me on YouTube and that are complete idiots. It's a way of getting back. Because, you know what? I think I'm a good guy. A really good guy. And let's share the channels and the knowledge. And I'm not the guy that's going to bash, you know, somebody. You know, of course, you know, we all have a knowledge. I'm sure some of you guys watched some of my videos and said, oh, that little thing you said in that video is inaccurate. And it's possible. I'm not, you know, a Bible of radio. I'm, you know, a human being that has a certain knowledge. And what's interesting in here is there are things that I need to learn. Look, I'm learning, you know, the SDR a little more with the Fedry, because it's pushing me to go a little more deeper into SDRs. And of course, you know, I'm asking questions today because you guys, you know, obviously some of you are using SDRs a lot. And, you know, if you can help me. And basically, what's happening is, you know, there are some guys that came back at me being really, you know, idiots that really are the worst. And I think, okay, if you want to build your channel around, let's tell the world that you're an asshole and that, okay, your videos are bad. Fine with you. You're allowed to do that. And some people are using that tactic and are just dumb. And I think it, you know what? Even if they would have some knowledge that's good enough to be important, I think it just proves that it's not worth taking the time to watch anything on a crappy channel like that. And, you know, that's all I got to say with that. Captain Ron, do you have any experience with DSP speakers? Um, Look good in reviews. What's your thoughts? Okay, here's the thing. A DSP speaker, okay, it resembles a little bit this little box here. This is a DSP 40 from Realistic. And it is basically turning my speaker here into a DSP speaker, basically, because this is a, okay, cheap and really, I'd say compared to today's DSPs, probably very, very far from performance of today's DSP speakers. Here's the thing. It works to a certain point, but the biggest flaw of a DSP speaker is that it works on the audio side, not in the radio side. So it has a lot of limits because of that, because you're just fiddling with how the audio can be filtered out. But if your receiver has difficulty receiving a signal, has adjacent interference, for example, from signals close to the frequency, well, the DSP speaker cannot help you with that, because that's in the receiver side. That's why receivers that have, like the ICOM RCR 75, that have built-in DSPs will fare better. That's why an SDR, which has a lot of DSP, digital signal processing, basically, is better than this, because that's fiddling with the radio side of the signal, and now you can really do a lot of stuff with that. So that's the difference. So one of the things, yes, it improves. Okay, I don't want to be negative about it. It improves, and I'm happy to have this little box here. It improves the quality of the speaker itself, the audio quality, if it's good, also will help you in the listening side. But don't expect to be overwhelmed by it, because that might actually, that will probably be a side where you're gonna like, okay, okay, I didn't think, I thought it would be better than that. But if you got good audio, and the fact that the filters that you can use different types of audio filters, will help you eliminate part of the interference. Yeah, okay, it's not that bad, and I think if you don't spend too much, it might be okay. So, and by the way, as we're talking about YouTube channels, you've got a YouTube channel that talks about radio. I will be making more. I haven't had the time this week. That's why some of you, I want to talk about Adrien's channel. I want to talk about Europe DX channel. I want to talk about a few more. If you've got a YouTube channel that deals mostly with radio, okay, I don't care if you have a few videos of other things, but it has to be more than half of the videos. Let's say more than half of the videos need to be radio. If you have more than half of your videos that are radio, I'll be happy to make a video. And look at that. It helps people get subscribers, and it's cool. Marte Otis, or Ortiz, I don't know how you pronounce it, sorry. Hello there from the Czech Republic. It's 10:30 p.m. up there. Pretty cool. Nice to have you on board. Really, really cool. So, yeah, well, I think it's an odd. Man Radio DX says, to be honest, I've been out of the scene for a while, but slowly coming back now. Radio conditions are improving. For many years, I have to say, it's, and off and on. I remember in my 35 plus years of listening of radio, it's, I go out and come back to the hobby regularly. There are periods of times where I probably didn't turn on the radio for 6 months. Periods of times when the radio was on 24 hours a day almost, because I was just going crazy. And so it's for a long time I had a radio experience of all and nothing. Now, of course, I've got this channel, and I got to cultivate the channel, and I got a live show, so I can't be 3 months without listening to the radio because you guys are going to say, what the hell? He's got a radio channel and doesn't listen to radio. So now I'm listening more regularly. But probably, and it's Blues Radio International, by the way, on WRMI right now. So, basically what's happening is I listen more regularly thanks to the videos in my YouTube channel. And I think it's cool. I think it's cool because it keeps me listening a little more. It keeps me tuning around more. And I like the fact that it actually, it's stay in there. So, but everybody, And more coming, by the way, Jwahar Bami. This week, I'll try to find a time this weekend and this week to next week to highlight other radio channels also. And yeah, exactly, Brett Wayne. We learn every day, and nobody is the perfect. And you know what? One of the things that I hate the most of somebody, and I've learned that over the years myself as a tech guy. When somebody tells you you are wrong because the science says this is how it goes. And I always tell myself, okay, on paper your fancy stuff says that should not work, but I'm sorry. Have you tried it? Probably not. And you have to know what you're talking about if the only reason you're saying something doesn't work is because science says it can't. You're totally right if science says it can't and you tried it somehow. And I gotta say, sometimes you might be very, very surprised at what science and reality gives you in results. It's all I gotta say with that. That's all I gotta say with that. So, Tony with the Auto says, what I learned through SDR is watching signals before listening, checking out the form they show in it, recognized FM, narrow FM, AM, USB, SSB, CW, digital modes are a bit harder, except JT65. Yeah, that's true. You know what? As I am going through the SDR a lot this week, I was looking at the waterfall and looking at different signals. And at some point, you look at signals and you're like, okay, that's a single sideband signal. I was looking at some, for example, I was looking at the waterfall one day. I think it was Wednesday evening. There's something on 5330.5 that is, I just look at it and I'm like, wow, this looks like a single sideband signal. And I click there, and I think 5330.5 is one of the 60-meter amateur band. And it came out as, there were some French, actually it was an amateur radio operator in in the forest, real far in the northern Quebec part, that was talking to his wife through kind of a phone patch they made on the amateur band. And it was really interesting. I was like, okay, I'm starting to remember. And, there are things you see sometimes, like two close lines. It's like, okay, that looks like a radio teletype signal, or, it is true. You start visualizing the types of signals that you will be listening. That is totally true. So, Scotty Tier 6 says, politically incorrect warning. Arguing on the internet is like running a race in a Special Olympics. Even if you win, you might still be a retard. Oh, okay. David says, DSP-40 also has a built-in speaker. Up-firing. Works quite well as an external speaker for compromise. Use mine with external speaker, though. In fact, it's the same Minimus 2.5 that... you got the same speaker as I got. Of course, the speaker being up is the worst thing ever for anything, for a radio, or you got to have a speaker that's like pointing at your face. But I'm happy to have it, and I think it's a nice little thing. So, but exactly, it's DSP, like David says, DSP and the DSP-40 here. This thing comes from 1995 or something. It's just a analog to digital conversion that's done, and there's some filtering. So one of the things that's amazing, and I'll always, always, always find super amazing about the DSP-40 is its ability to remove heterodyne tones and even multiple ones automatically. That kicks butt. I got to say that. Danny Shortwave Radio DX says 5980 Voice of Turkey. Do you have a ham license? Take care, PLF. Nice to be there. Nice for you to be here. And tomorrow, of course, show at 2000 hours UTC. Thank you for being here. Grandly says interference is the charm of shortwave radio. Yeah, in part. Today is more of a nuisance than a charm, but yeah. John Palu says, do you have a ham license? Nope. I'm happy with listening, I gotta say. I'm really happy with listening. Hey, Jay Rogerson 69. No, I really need to purchase that Ernie in the bathtub. I have to check that out. And by the way, I'll be a little annoying for a second. If you guys want to help me out in any way, and for example, if I get a few donations that are today, I promise I buy the Ernie in the bathtub radio and show you guys the first ever radio I got when I was like 8 years old. So you can go on patreon.com, and I'm going to put it in the chat room, patreon.com/radio and computers. That is a really nice little place to go if you want to, just don't remember when to do donations. You can pledge, and it's going to take it out monthly. And it's easy to get out and change your pledge, and there's really no catch in there. And of course, there's also PayPal, and I'll post here at the Yahoo email address. That's always a little complex. So you know what, you guys, to give you an idea how the donations are important, I bought the router with donations. So I improved the show immediately with donations, and I am planning a lot of things. I'm kind of short on cash because of the it's not horrible, but it's not really great monetization on YouTube right now. So, every little bit helps. And you guys, by the way, and I've got to say it, have been coming through. Thank you a lot. Really, really cool. Both here on the radio channels, on my Windows channels. But if you got a little something, why not? And you know what? If I'm going to check that, and if I got donations, I'm going to get that Ernie radio in the bathtub. I really, really going to get that. For sure. What else do we have? Yes, absolutely, David. Like you say, it's a very good audio filter, and I'm happy to have it, and I'll always keep it. And the automatic notch filter is really amazing. That is amazing. Scott Hitcher 6 says, when my sweetie asks why I need all these radios, I ask why you need all those shoes. Got the same conversations here. It's universal. Tony Ivy says, I try to listen someday, some every day. If not that, I'm on my ham radio or CB base. Yeah, it's not doing too much, because I think when you overdo it, at some point you get kind of saturated. If you don't overdo it, you keep at it regularly. So it's pretty cool. Mad Radio DXer says, I hate the know-it-all type of people. Those that get my respect are the ones who are not afraid to ask, even if they are good. I'm sorry, but even if you know a lot, I know a lot about the hobby. I don't know everything. I was asking you guys questions here. Shows you that there's things that I don't know. There are things that I don't know, and, what I'd like to have? I'd like to have like a guy come over here, a real fanatic of antennas, and start not only looking at my setup, but telling me, hey, you know what? Here in your setup, what I would like to see, you could do this or that with antennas. And even explain to me, oh, your coax cable, you did it the wrong way or everything. That's kind of a spot where it's a kind of weak spot for me a little bit. And, even in all of my setup here, I mean, we're not perfect and we don't know everything. We don't know everything. And I'd rather have somebody that is able to ask questions. There's nothing better than an expert at something that comes to you and says, oh, got a question about something. And you answer, and it's like, wow, kind of cool. That guy that he doesn't shove it in your face, but, just by what he's doing, that guy knows a lot. That the guy knows really a lot. But he's asking you a question, and it's like, oh, that's cool. The guy is capable of doing that, But and one of the things that's amazing here in technology, by the way, tech guys are the worst for I know it and you just shut up. That is the worst field ever. I mean, I've met through the years so many tech guys that, oh well, you're stupid if you do that like that. Okay, did I was I not polite with you at some point or something? Did I ever call you stupid or something or dumb? No. Okay, and you might have your own thinking of, I do this like that, and that's it. But I will respect your own way of doing things, even if I might think, waste of time. We're all allowed our opinions and our way of doing things. And one of the worst things ever is when somebody tries to make others feel dumb or stupid. And I think those people need zero respect of anyone. Matt Anderson says the Ernie radio would be awesome. Yeah, let's check eBay. I'm going to check it out here. eBay. How much did it cost? Let's check it out here. eBay.ca. I'm going to go and check it out now. Okay, you guys? So here we go. Let's check out Ernie bathtub radio. Oops, got it wrong here. Okay, this one's kind of expensive. There's only one showing up right now. But it's $26 plus $23 shipping. That's $56. That's kind of expensive for an Ernie in the bathtub radio. Oh, there's even a Bert and Ernie transistor, AM transistor radio. Kind of interesting. By the way, Grandly. Oh, fast load. Yes, hello there. I will give you a voice. Aren't you in the... Here we go. Your voice. Here we go. Yeah, you know what? I will be... we will be actually live on that weekend. We are having our shows. The next shows are coming on the weekend of April 1st and 2nd, by the way. And so, I'm just going to, like Grandly says, when you ask questions, you become an expert. Yes, that's true. The next radio shows will be in 2 weeks. And on Saturday evening, April 1st, we will be in the midst of the Global HF Pirate Weekend, which is April 1st and 2nd. So that means you need to check out everywhere and everything, because I think that's going to be really, really nice. So you know, pretty cool. And I think it's gonna be nice. So maybe we'll try to tune around some pirates on that weekend. But remember, guys, April 1st and 2nd is Global HF Pirate Weekend. So check out not only the regular frequencies, but check out HF Underground and check out all the pirates. Check out 15070. Last time, Cupid Radio from the Netherlands was on 15070, and I heard him here. So I think it's going to be interesting to check that out. So hey, Fastload, nice to have you here. So Brett Wayne says, I heard the doctor on the phone patch getting help. You know, I still remember that the expedition that I was at Perry Island, where on 17952, I believe, there's the aeronautical frequency, and they were patching through a doctor because somebody was having a heart attack on one of the flights over the Atlantic Oceans, and you're like, wow, you can't be more than in the middle of, the action with something like that. I can tell you. Joe Palu says, I know everything, just ask and he'll give you an answer. Yeah, Wellbrook. I do need a Wellbrook. That would be probably the best. That would be the best for me. Can tell you that. Mad Radio DXers. Next thing to get your donation is a Wellbrook. I must have one, yeah, because there's so much noise here. I can tell you that. So we're supposed to tune the bands, by the way. And but we're talking about radio and everything. I felt like we're having a little fun here, and let's check out what we can receive on the bands. So what is there? 31 meter band. Let's check 31 meter band a little bit. Okay, got a lot of noise there. There's something here, but I think that's interference more than anything else. I do get a lot of interference with the SDR that I'll need to fix out also. What else do we have here? So we still have, I believe, yep, Radio Estéreo de España, 9690. Let's just do something here. I'm gonna check it out. Recalibrating everything. 9690 000. Here we go. So, Radio Exterior de España coming in Spanish on 9690. Let's check for India, 9445. Slight signal from All India Radio, 9445. Voice of Greece with music on 9420. Kind of nice. WTWW on 9475. Some interesting signals here on shortwave, can tell you that. Oh, man. Take care. If anyone doing it, Otto, always nice to have you on board. And so what else do we have here? Hey, welcome back, Carol. Robbie Burgess says, if they don't have respect on me, then I don't have respect on them. That's how it works. Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, some people just think they know it all and have no respect for others. Scotty Deer 6 says, I'm lucky I live in a noise-free area with room for a good outside antenna. Wellbrook looks ideal for a noisy area. Lacking space seems to be well worth the high cost. Yeah, that really is something I need. Fastload says, knowing too much is not cool either. Struggle is real. Yeah. I remember posting a Facebook post at some point saying, having too much intelligence is also a curse. It's not just all positive. Danny Shortwave says, the guy I was talking about, the Zenith, is an old ham operator for over 40 years. Gave me a bunch of tips on working my radios, told me the best antennas. Yes, these are good usually. You know, the ones that have been doing this for a long time, you know, pretty cool. Cuddy Tier 6 says, Global HF Pirate Weekend, April 1st, 2nd, 2017. Frequency ranges 15010 to 15100. The 21455 to 21550. Thanks for sharing this. Betwayne says Parrot Radio. Yeah. Yes. I believe there's kind of a Walbrook style antenna from what's the amateur radio page that has a magnetic loop that you can build with. I've actually built one and it didn't work well, and I'm wondering if I just built it wrong. And I'm sometimes thinking maybe I should try it out again. Anything on 10,000? Nothing much on 10,000 here right now. What else do we have? You think there's 9505. There's some kind of religious broadcast. Checking out here, what do we have? A lot of noise on the 31 meter band, I see. 9690. Let's check out, let's go down in frequency and check out 41 meter band. Anything here? 7405. Radio Marti, 7405. This is Radio Marti. Do you have CR? I think CRI 7285 usually. Let's check it out. 7285. Not really much coming through right now. CRI 7210 on in Spanish, I believe. 7210 China Radio International, and we can see how wide. Look at that. CRI is so wide. It's 20 kilohertz wide, man. It's really amazing how CRI is wide on its transmissions. MDK2 says KBS test transmission to Europe 11810 will begin in a minute. Oh, it's they're still testing 2200. Let's try it out just for the fun of it. Do I hear something on 11810? Nothing at all in the waterfall. Who the hell is calling me at this time? Nothing on the waterfall. Nothing on the waterfall. What do we have here? 11780 is Radio Nacional Amazonas right here. So this is Brazil coming in. 11780 with a pretty good signal. It's 9 plus 20 at times. So that's not bad at all. 11790, not sure about that. What is on 11790? 11790, let's check out EIBI space. And this time, 11790 is okay, we're at 2200. Oh, it's Madagascar World Voice 2223 to Egypt. Okay, here's a funny thing. It says EGY. There's no such thing as, what is that? EGY, Egyptian? It's called Arabic. It's not Egyptian. What is that? Radio Feda from Madagascar World Voice, apparently. And that's from Madagascar. And that is Arabic. Why does it say EGY? There's no such language as Egyptian. It's Arabic. That's weird. That's weird. Okay. Yeah, BBC is usually on 11/8/10, and as they sign off, it switches to KBS. Really switches KBS. Fast loads upstairs and with his DX440 not very good right now. You're getting a few of the signals, fast load, that I'm getting here. Of course, I got the sloper antenna in the backyard on it, but Bobby Clayhans says, ever listen to Liberty Net on 3950? I've stumbled upon that Liberty Net regularly. I gotta say, I probably heard at some point almost every type of net there is on 80 meters. There's Liberty Net 3950. What's the other one? 3913, I believe. I'm trying to remember its name, but there's a lot of nets on 80 meters that are some of them are interesting. And sometimes I stumble and I just listen to a net, and I'd like to have a really complete. Anybody have a link to a very complete amateur radio net by time, or there used to be one that was available, but it's gone now. So Danny Shortwave says, yep, there are quite a few long wave, medium wave, shortwave loop antenna plans out there. I like the one using copper tubing, but it's huge. There's YouTube video on that. It's seen one and uses carbon fiber bike wheel. Oh, really? That's kind of interesting. Carbon fiber bike wheel. Kind of nice. Kind of nice. Richard Cook says, very faint carry on 11/8/10 on Universe 220 SDR. MDK2 says, got a weak carrier on 11/8/10, that's all. Yeah. You know what? One of the things that I'm surprised with is the fact that KBS World Radio did test a few weeks ago for the summer season. And that shows me how these guys don't know how to make good frequencies, because you cannot test a summer frequency late February or early March, because there's a change. You know what? I'm wondering, these guys that coordinate frequencies at KBS World Radio, if they really understand shortwave, because it seems that nobody understands that 15575 from Korea doesn't make it to North America in the wintertime. It does in the summer, yeah. Not in the winter. And they never changed that. And you know what that's sad? Is because that's how they're going to base their, we're going to shut down KBS because nobody's listening. Hey, nobody's listening because you're choosing crappy frequencies. And you know what? In 2017, why the hell are you not at least using a few relays? I would love to hear KBS World Radio, that I actually enjoy programs, I don't know, relayed from WRMI or something. That is the kind of thing that makes me crazy. Take care, Joe Palu, 73 KB3LUE. Nice to have you here. Juan Amigo, hello there. Nice to have you on board. Nice to have you on board. So anyway, it's, I don't know. Maybe I'm going crazy here. Egyptian Arabic. Okay, MDK2. Thank you for the for clearing this out. Egyptian Arabic. Yeah, probably like, the French from Quebec and the French from France has differences. or the English from the UK and English from the United States. It's not the same thing. These types of difference. Yeah. You know, they're probably, of course, every country has like a little dialect of the language. So, of course, I'm pretty sure Arabic is not exactly the same in Saudi Arabia and Algeria and Egypt. There are some words and some some things that they'll say that there are different. So okay, that's yeah, one. So yeah, why not? WBCQ on 9330. Richard Cook is receiving. Cool. Cool. Oh, really? We have a very famous station on 9505. Yeah, they do Spanish on WHRI, but they should add English relays. Really. You know what? Why not add English relays? Come on. I'd like that. Oh, exactly. Scotty Tier 6. If I see Tabarnouche in Paris, they're going to look at me and say, what the hell did you just say? Absolutely. I really would like to have KBS World Radio use, relays in English. Radio Taiwan, exactly. Spark Detect. Makes me crazy too. Radio Taiwan International. Another one. Okay. The one that I really can't get about Radio Taiwan International. Radio Taiwan, one of the first ever in the world to really understand the power of relays. In 1985, Radio Taiwan, which was called, back then it was called Voice of Free China. If you guys remember, Radio Taiwan in 1985 was called Voice of Free China. They were using WIFR relay in Okeechobee, Florida for North America on 5950. I remember that. And now, today, in 2017, they can get a F frequency on a relay. I don't get it. You understood in 1985 that relays were great, and you don't understand it anymore. I don't get it at all. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. But hey, here, Carol. I'll give you moderator status because I trust you. So you'll be able to post URLs if you want, Carol. Now, just refresh the chat if you don't see it. You just got moderator status. So I'm just gonna make sure that I did. Yep. Now you'll be able to post. We'll add a few moderators from time to time. So here, Carol, you're a moderator now. You got a little tool next to your name, so you can actually post for sure. What else do we have here? Yes, Juan Amigo. I'm using a Afedri SDR right now. So, hey, Farney Jr. Nice to have you here. It's really cool. It's nice to have everybody on board. We're having a nice follow-up here. So, okay. Where is my ICR 70? I've got an ICR 8500, and the ICR 20 is just finishing being charged here, because one of the things that I did this week while with the big snowstorm is, of course, it's one of the great times to listen to scanner radio and tune around and hear everybody going crazy in a snowstorm. So, you know. Oh, man. Okay, what else do we have here in the frequencies? Let's tune around. Let's see what's up there in the frequency ranges. SDR is cool for one thing, seeing all the different frequencies that are tuned around. Oops, what's that? There was something here on 12105. That's WTWW. In Arabic. This is WTWW in the United States. This is gonna. Here we go. That's WTWW in the United States in Arabic. And what else do we have here? 12050 is WEWN in Spanish. What do we have here? Listen in. It's not very strong. Usually stronger than that. Some of the signals are usually strong and are not very strong today. There's Saudi Arabia on 11915, I believe. Yep, 11915 is Holy Quran from Saudi Arabia. What else do we have here? Radio Havana, Cuba in French on 11880. 11880.
De fait, le réseau latino-américain des ONG des handicapés et de leurs proches et choisit la Havane pour sa 6e conférence.
Interesting little signals here that we're checking out on the shortwave bands. Slowly. We're not tuning a lot tonight, but we're tuning a little bit. Anybody's receiving something interesting? CHU coming in for Adrien on 7850. Wow, cool. Carol T says, yep, Havana is loud on 11880. Yes, Spark Detect. I'm using it's a Movo wireless mic, and it's actually very surprising, I gotta say. Hey there, RadioNet63. How you doing? Nice to have you on board. Tony Ivy says, little off subject, but while listening to my unit and scanner, I caught a Southwest Airlines flight to New York reporting seeing a UFO. Well, you know, UFO is a vague term. Remember one thing. So, you know, it just says, you know, for a lot of people in their head, UFO is, okay, there's an alien ship out there. UFO is unidentified flying object. And you know what? In the sky, it's like, you know, there's tons of those. Can tell you that. Even McRobert says, enjoy listening to aircraft in between 3 major airports and 5 smaller ones. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Here I'm in the corridor in the city. So the airplanes coming from the east are almost all coming almost overhead here where I live. So, you know, imagine when I was younger and I'd love listening to airplanes with like the patrolman radios. It was kind of cool because I would listen to the planes coming in and I could visually see the planes coming in. So it's kind of cool, I gotta say. Yeah, CHU time signal does give QSL cards. Yep, that's true. Scotty Tier 6, how the battery in the mic? They're AAA batteries. What I have in there are AAA, AAA Energizer rechargeables, and they actually last approximately 4 hours. A little less, but about 4 hours on one charge. And because they're AAAs, what I like about the microphone is I just keep a few packs of AAA alkalines if the battery ever runs out, because I do it because it's I'm doing a show that's too long. At least I can change the batteries. So you only hear Brother Stare on 11 megahertz, Adrien. That's sad. I'm hearing Cuba and French on 11880. I'm hearing there's Saudi Arabia on 11915 with the Holy Quran. What else do we have? We have, let's go down a little bit. Okay, I got also something we'll not talk about on 11825. Madagascar World Force in Arabic on 11790. Portuguese, Brazil on 11780. It's getting quite good too for Brazil on 11780. Look at that. That's Brazil, Radio Nacional Amazonas, 11780.
Mas essa realidade deve mudar. 200 quilômetros de fibra ótica estão sendo implantados na região do Sul. Serão 12 municípios.
Every time you guys talk about the Overcomer Ministry, I always remember that moment where I was actually tuning the bands live, and in the same phrase, we had Brother Stare saying, talking about the whore of Babylon, and in the same phrase, mentioning Overcomer Ministry. And I'm sorry, but whore of Babylon, Overcomer Ministry, that kind of gives me images in my head that are kind of far from God. Danny Shortwave 7550, yeah, All India Radio. This week I've been hearing All India Radio a few times on 7550. Yep, it's there. It's not very strong, but it's there. All India Radio on 7550. It's rather weak, but it's there. Let's check out 9445. It's almost not there, 9445. It's sad because we haven't had a really good signal from All India Radio recently. But I think it should be better and better as time goes by. That's for sure. No, Adrien. All India Radio is on 7550. They have been turning off DRM recently. They're supposed to be in DRM on 7550, but they are not using DRM right now, Adrien. It is really All India Radio. I've heard them this week a few times. They're not turning on DRM on 7550. I don't know why. Because it's supposed to be a DRM transmission. MDK2 says, a bit earlier I was getting XEPPM Radio Educación 6185 out of Mexico City. Better this week than I ever had. And, wow, just when Radio Nacional de Brasilia was not QRMing on 6180. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, that's it. You got it, Scotty Tier 6. Just don't use that letter, U, when you say it. It's in India. It's one of the Indian transmitters, really in India. Let me just check here. I don't know if there's probably the info here on EIBI, but 7550 is All India Radio. It says digital, but it is from the main transmitter site in India for All India Radio, and it's if you want to make sure that it's that, you know what? In 5 minutes they are going to end transmission. So in 5 minutes you should have it gone from from the shortwave bands. Richard Cook is receiving Voice of Korea, just signing off in English on 7570. You know what, MDK2? I don't think they boosted their signal, but it's the properties of shortwave. Sometimes it's really cool because propagation changes depending on the types. You know, if you know, like this week we had a few days, I believe that K index was a little higher. So you know what? Sometimes north-south signals get enhanced somehow, and there's that day that you just get. It's the same with RAE, Argentina. 11710 is horrible to North America in general, but there's that day that you'll tune in and you'll be able to follow the English and the French language programs from Argentina. And the next day you try to tune in because like, oh wow, yesterday I heard them, and it's back to a crappy signal. So, that's shortwave, and that you gotta tune around and continue tuning because you never know. Like I always say, it's not because you don't hear it that you don't try it. When you don't hear it one day, try it regularly, and one day you'll be surprised at what you're going to receive. That's important. Hey, Daniel Edward. Nice to have you here. Dan from New Jersey. Nice to have you on board. Live first time. Really cool to have you here. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Grandly says, would you ever consider a 24-hour marathon show before you take the month off in July? We could have to stock up on the beer. You know what? Let me think about that, because it's something that's kind of going through my mind, but I'll need more than just beer. I'll have to be standing, first of all, not sitting down in a chair, and I'll need coffee. So we'll alternate between coffee and beer or something. I don't know. But you know what? It's something I was thinking of, just for the fun of it. Some kind of rally of shortwave or something, of live show, and doing 24-hour marathon somehow. I think that could be cool. And people would sign in and off, and I'll try to advertise that really far in advance so the maximum number of people would know. I think that would be cool. So David Snyder says, have a few minutes before the Sabbath starts. What is on now? Well, I don't know. It depends what you want to listen to. That's for sure. And a month away here for Christian. What's the date? 17? When's Easter this year? It's like about a month now, right? 16, 17 of April. So Richard, your frequency changes in Europe. Yeah, in Europe you guys change next weekend for summertime. A lot of people were a little mixed up in some of my shows because the hour difference, just because UTC time, shifts from regular time. So it's like the Windows channel, I've kept the same local time, but of course it shifted by 1 hour for people in Europe because they didn't go to summertime yet. It's kind of weird. Red Wayne says, talk to Ozland with my truck in Western New York. Yeah, that's amazing. Propagation is like that. It's just the amazing moments that you got to get. So let's see. Glenn Hauser's World of Radio. Starting out on WRMI 11580 right now. If you guys want to listen to the latest news from Glenn Hauser's excellent program. So, World of Radio on 11580 right now. Yeah, at the end, I know. I've heard 7550, not very strong, but I've heard it once or twice this week. Actually, it was the only frequency I could actually listen to the program, even if it was weak. Was really the only frequency I could listen to the program, and basically was very surprised. So and yeah, they're supposed to be in DRM, but they're not. So let's tune around a little bit here. We're going to start from 5 megahertz and go slightly higher slowly. So let's tune. Okay, we got radio teletype 90 on 4985. Okay, what else do we have here? Let's check it out. Oh, 5130 is WBCQ probably. Yep. 5130 is WBCQ.
No life for Christians there. They're thirsty for the blood of any Christian, but there's no way for any Christian to live in El Arish. They were pretty clear when they said, "We won't leave any Christian in peace."
Very Christian religious programming. Hey, by the way, how you guys find the stream? It's been holding on? Any buffering, anything? Tell you guys, with that new router, the stream has been really, really better. So what else do we have here? If we continue tuning around, what's here? This is Stagnag. Stagnag around 5215. Checking out the different signal. Radio teletype around 53, 38, 39. Yep, Scotty says 1080p, no worries. Yeah, you know what? Danny Shortwave says stream is flawless. I can tell you that new router really, really makes wonders for the stream. So I think we found what was bad in the output. Red Wayne says stream is good, all show. Pretty cool. So MDK2 says I got you on my Mac in the next room and I don't think it buffered at all. So I think we fixed one part of the problems. Okay, 5450. Royal Air Force Valmet from the UK coming in on 5450 kilohertz, upper sideband. Yeah, I did see that, Carol, about the choppy thing. I think it has to do with one of the settings in the software I'm using. I'm going to be playing a little bit with that, Carol. It doesn't seem as good as usual in the frames per second. There's something weird happening. I'm going to have to check it out. But at least if the stream is good and, you know, it holds up, pretty cool. So thanks everyone for answering my little request of how the stream was. Shannon Involvement 5505. Also, I believe. 5505, yeah. It's not very strong, but it's there. Shannon Involvement 5505. What else do we have here? If you check out the low bands, as we're tuning around, this is stagnant around 57, 58. Need to get the low bands. You can check out. I think my RF is a little strong. Lower a little bit. Okay. Few signals on the 49 meter band. Okay, here's something that looks like Alex Jones.
I'm sorry, there were two spots of light. This is South Korea. I'm sorry, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, it's most of them around the border. Have little border exchanges. Sell raw material.
Alex Jones, nut job on 6115 from WWCR. Adrien says New York radio or Gander radio on 6604. So, hey TUT, nice to have you on board. We're at 2 hours and 36 minutes right now in this stream. So, welcome aboard. Never, like they always say, better late than never. And it's nice to have you here. 6604. Let's check it out for Gander radio or New York radio. Yeah, it's not very strong. Let's try the different frequency. 3485. Rather weak. 10051. Not there. So 6604 is almost it's very weak, but it's there. So interesting. Adrien says Shannon is usually strong here on 3413, 5505. Brett Wayne says 5450, which is the Royal Air Force in the UK. S6 in New York, Western New York. Cool. It's Shitty Pyro 90 says stream all good. Don't see any lag yet. Cool. I think my Linksys router I had before was one of the weak link in the upstream of videos. So I'm really happy to have changed a router this week. What else do we have here? Let's just check every chat room. So TOT says, I'm so upset I'm late, drove fast to get home to watch this. Anyhow, watch it again later. Don't do that, okay, TOT? You know what? I want you in good health, no accidents. I'd feel so bad if somebody told me that somebody died because he just, pressed the gas pedal to watch my show. Diane says, once I got New York on 3485. Yeah, yep. 3485 in the evening is a regular for me. That's for sure. Richard Cook says 6400 still on University of 20 with weak carrier. Let's just check 6400. Do I see just a little something faint? No, don't see anything at all here. Stagnant 6429 or something. What do we have? 64. Radio teletype around 6485. What do we have here? Yeah, I hear, just see it barely on the waterfall, the 6604. Kind of weird to tune around with the SDR tonight. Okay, 61. Any ham radio operators? Oh yeah, on lower sideband. Check it out. 71, 73 lower sideband. There's a lot of hams on the 40 meter band. Seventy-one 38.5. 71 38.5. Amateur radio operators. Something on 7250. Let's check out what there's here. 35. Radio Marti and 7405. Pretty good signal on this one. That's 9 plus 20 and more.
Compartir con la comunidad cubana en Miami. Esta es la campaña Cuba Decide y de qué manera pueden participar cubanos que viven también fuera de la isla en la...
Radio Marti, pretty good. TOT's got 71, 73 at S3. Adrien's got Austin, the radio, 2761 USB. That's possible. David Snyder, 6604, hearing well in the ICOM R75. Nothing but noise on the Sony 2010. Huh, interesting. 71, 73 LSB hams coming in well on R75. Well, try it out, David Snyder. Listen to your R75. That's going to be cool. Brett Wayne says 71, 73 S8. Good. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, so it's the Global Tuners receiver in Staten Island, David Snyder. I promise I'm gonna tune tonight. I'm gonna try it out. So take care and stay safe, David. Always a pleasure. Bye bye. WBCQ very, very weak here, but it's normal on 7490. Very, very weak. Very interesting. Let's go back to Glenn Hauser's World of Radio here for a moment. So I've got Glenn Hauser's World of Radio, 11580. So, hey guys, it's almost 7 p.m. and 15 minutes here. Danielle, the SDR, this one, if you're, it depends on what you're talking about. For the soft 66, it's not just warm. The soft 66 is almost, it's just, you know, it can burn, do a third-degree burn on my fingers. As for the ephedry, it barely is warm, barely, in the casing. But on the soft 66, Daniel, it's horrible. It comes really hot. So Richard Cook says carrier on Cine 540 just popped on. So okay. So hey guys, we have a shortwave show tomorrow, so I'm gonna take it easy for the rest of the evening. Thank you for being here. We've been on for 2 hours 45 minutes. Pretty cool. Tomorrow, 2000 hours UTC, we are going to talk about radio, shortwave radio. Just a reminder, it's 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So no problem, TOT. I'm back tomorrow. So if you want to join us tomorrow, I'll be here. Thanks everybody for being here. It was a really nice audience tonight. Really nice to have everybody here. Always fun. Take care, everyone. And tonight I'm gonna probably do some more radio. Play with the SDR console. And you know what? Be careful, everybody. Love you all. See you tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 2000 hours UTC. We're going to talk a little bit about the summer schedules. And here's DX the cat just saying hi. Well, I'll try to not just show the butt. Here, turn around. Here we go. So take care, everyone. Always nice to have everybody on board. So take care, everybody. See you tomorrow. And hope you enjoyed today's show. It's always a great pleasure. Bye-bye.